People are usually surprised that we paint on the floor. They picture us crawling around on our hands and knees. And I wouldn't do that for very long. I enjoy painting down because just my style is a little wetter and a little looser. So I like to use the gravity to keep things on the canvas. Well, I'm Ann Gumpper, and I am a set designer for theater and ballet. We draw it in with charcoal, and then I draw it with felt pen. Sometimes I use aniline dye, which will show through the paint enough for me to see it as I'm going. So that's how I know where to put things. So it's kind of a little bit of a paint by number, which is why you have to be very gestural when you actually get the color on there, because you don't want it to look like a paint by number. But it's a real process. It's a craft. So it's not, you don't just stand in the middle of a big white field and start painting. So for Midsummer Night's Dream, for instance, I knew that we were going to use the Giselle backdrop.
And I said, can you add to that? Can you make that backdrop come alive in a different way to create the forest for Midsummer Night's Dream?
I show the director how things are going to look, because it's very difficult to say, well, it's going to be kind of purple.
Suddenly this set piece that was for a different ballet, a darker ballet, a ballet that is very from the Romantic period, now becomes this bright Shakespearean comedy atmosphere, you know.
You know, when you're working on this kind of scale from a little drawing, a lot of things happen in this level that you know, didn't happen in the smaller version. Then you really don't need a designer. Perspective on what you're doing when you're working really big like this on the floor is one of those things that just takes a lot of experience and a lot of running up to the balcony to look down. I'm looking to see if it looks good. And I also want a good strong shadow on one side, so I want to make sure I've done that. My job as a set designer is to create an emotional environment that can support the meaning of the play or the message of the play.
When the dancers get on stage and they're in that environment, it changes the whole thing.
I was studying art, and I took one theater class, a little seminar class, and it came very naturally to me to just keep going with it. I think the thing that I loved about it was how collaborative it is. And that's still what's fun for me, is working with other people to figure out what their vision is, how my vision fits with that. And it's really a different kind of art because of that.